you doing? So before we start, I just want to say that just really quick, you should know. Okay, just really quick. It's good for you to know that what I'm going to say in this video is not to deter you or convince you of ADHD medication. This is just my experience, of which started out really good, but then quickly declined into stinky, icky bad. So the last video, I figured out that I had ADHD because I had symptoms. Symptoms such as often has trouble holding attention on tasks, often does not seem to listen when spoken to directly, or is often easily distracted. You know, stuff like that. So what was the solution? Drug. In America, medication doesn't come cheap, so this wasn't like a just whatever decision. This sprouted from some real need. To the surprise of no one, ADHD brain isn't very productive. My thoughts either do not complete or just overlap with one another, and that's very annoying. It's a lot of chaos, and it can be really frustrating when I'm trying to focus. Hey guys, what is 2 plus 2? I don't know, probably 2? I think it could be 4. Who even made math? Yeah, it's probably just another 2. There's already two twos in there. Probably another 2, I bet. When will this be useful to know? Like, what am I gonna do with my life anyway? Like, what will the future hold? What is something that I need to worry about? Guys! What do you imagine it sounds like when we play 8 different trumpets randomly at the same time? Well, I wonder when we can find out. This happens when I'm talking to other people, and I could, like, forget their name. It happened in school and work, and I'm sure it's a big reason as to why I had to retake classes in high school. And honestly, I just want my hands on the wheel for once. And I was told that meds could be a way to achieve that. Have you guys gotten any work done at all? Where's the guy in charge here? Oh my god. There's tons of medications to choose from. You got Adderall, Vyvanse, Ritalin, Concerta, and many others. For my first medication, I used Adderall. We started out really low, about 5 milligrams of Adderall. So, what does Adderall feel like? It takes a little bit to kick in, but when it does, I gain this strange ability. Just the ability to be able to. So you see, a lot of my unmedicated days goes like this. I will think of a thing to do, task A, but then my brain is like, yo, wait, there's this other thing you should do first because it's probably going to take like no time at all. And then that happens a couple times. And then I start on the least important task, get like halfway through it, take a break, forget about all of the other tasks, and then get distracted by anything else within my field of view, which if I'm online is infinity. Then the day is done and I've made a laughably small amount of progress. When Adderall was introduced into my system, I was like, I should do task A. And then I did task A. The loop was gone. There was no sensation. It was just ability. So the meds were good for a while until they weren't. For good reason. But firstly, I'd like to thank you for willingly sitting down to listen to my sponsor, NordVPN. You're all comfortable? You want anything? Snacks? Water? You're good? Great. NordVPN is a virtual private network service that helps you protect yourself online. The internet is filled with infinite knowledge, but also people who want to track your data at every turn. NordVPN can help you stop that intrusive tracking. Hey there, what's your phone number? I want to sell it. NordVPN also blocks malware so you can protect your computer. I'm gonna click on this. You can also use NordVPN on so many devices. Your computer, your phone, your butt. No, not your butt. Well, that kind of seems like an oversight, but whatever. Use promo code Ice Cream Sandwich to get a discount deal, plus 1 bonus month included. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video. So Adderall was good for a while until I started to realize that it wasn't doing what I wanted it to. I was able to do things, but I started to notice that it was only touchable and physical tasks. Like one day, I took my Adderall, started to get to work, and then I realized that I was just vacuuming, doing dishes, and cleaning up other general messes around the house because I could physically fix that stuff. But if I needed to sit and think about things, it was really hard. See, the ability to do a thing was gained, but I never got the ability to focus. And that was the core of my problem. So out goes the Adderall. So I talked to a friend who also has ADHD about this problem. After some chatting, he mentioned he was taking Vyvanse, which is supposed to work differently than other meds for ADHD. It's a slower burn, and that can help in different ways for different people. Specifically for him, it helps him a lot with focus, which is what I wanted.
Yeah, Adderall is great, but also you're effectively taking meth.
Huh.
You might want to talk to your psych about Vyvanse if you're looking for something more mellow.
Considering my goals and my general aversion to meth, that seemed like a good idea. So I did bring up the idea of Vyvanse to my psych, and we decided to give it a go. Vyvanse felt way different than Adderall. When I took it, there was absolutely more focus. Like, way too much focus. So it comes around the first day of me trying out my new medication. It takes about an hour to kick in, so when I first tried it, nothing happened for a while, but then it hit. And when it did, I was watching a show about space flight, and it became very easy to follow along. Instead of consuming multiple forms of media at once, I was keenly aware and focused on this space documentary. But that focus plus curiosity about spaceflight led me into learning and researching the science of rocket flight and orbital mechanics. Cool. But that's not what I needed to do for the day. I was so enthralled with the information that by the time the medication wore off, the day was over and I did no work. I figured out the problem was I was able to work with incredible focus. I just needed to do the right task when the medication began its effects. Easy. I thought this was great. How foolish of me. If I'm not doing what I need to be doing while the meds are focusing me on the wrong thing, then it's not working. I would wake up, I'd take a pill, be distracted, then be locked into that thing I was distracted on for the whole day. So I had days that were crazy productive or days that were totally shot. It was all just a gamble. It felt like I was so close to getting rid of my distractibility, so I kept convincing myself that it was just a matter of getting my habits right. Then some weird stuff started to happen. One day I take my meds and I'm working on one of many things I'm not supposed to be working on, and then I started to feel out of breath. I immediately think it's COVID, so I go to do tests, talk to doctors, but COVID doesn't show up. Did you take a COVID test? Yeah. Is it COVID? No. So I'm not sure what this is. The feeling was like if I had just stopped jogging, but constantly. I had a feeling that it was the meds that were causing this problem, but I feel like I was so desperate to have the medications work that I was in denial that it was the meds that were causing the problem. So I just kept taking it. And then I did something really stupid. I was supposed to have a conversation with my psych in the future, and I could have just contacted them sooner and talked about these symptoms. But then I waited until I got really bad. I was having headaches. I could hardly sleep. One day I couldn't wait anymore. The symptoms got really bad, and I tried to contact him, but he was out of town and unreachable by this point. And so I did a really bad thing that you are never supposed to do. Do not do this ever. I stopped taking the meds. And I'm very thankful that I had no adverse reactions to this, but for me, it worked out. And after a couple of days of not taking the meds, I was fine. So that's my experience with ADHD medication. I'm off meds now, and I'm all good, but now I'm kind of back to square one. I think the moral of this, whoa, God. I almost dropped my phone. I think the moral of the story here is do not be tunnel visioned on results like me. If you're having a bad experience with medication, talk to your medical professional. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to unsubscribe. Wait.